Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We know. I do that in school.
Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Draper,
Here.
Cargill. Here. Ivy here. Belinda.
Here.
Dykstra.
Here.
We have a quorum. Okay, could we have, suppose everybody looked at the minutes, and if you got any questions or a motion to accept the minutes? The minutes.
I'll support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. For the agenda, looking for an approval for the agenda.
So, Rob, the couple things you and I didn't really get to talk, and I don't know, for some reason, never got the email Rachel sent and my text, but, so the meeting videos I'd like to add on there and township emails. And then the dedication of the emergency service building. I'd like to talk about, and
I'll do emergency services during fire.
okay, that's fine.
And, okay, and I had to sign for my supervisor report. I guess we can talk about that at that point,
Right.
if you want to do that.
What sign?
The emergency sign.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that, and I also have emails on my report.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
Email, how about meeting videos?
They're
I-
on the website.
Huh?
They're on the website.
They keep not being there, Rachel. And so,
Well, let's go on the
Let's-
agenda and talk about that.
Okay,
So the only thing we're gonna have to add then is the
videos,
videos. I
Okay.
make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the meeting videos.
I'll support.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Okay. Correspondence.
Yeah, I sent you all the correspondence there. It was concerning short-term rentals. And maybe Keely, I'll give it her name. Hopefully you guys had time to read it. She wants you to know her story and her reasons for renting out her home. So, did you have any comments on it yourself? Okay. Alright then, if anybody wants to look at it, they can ask me for it.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer's report.
Yes, since I can't see, I got an injection in my eye today, so I did put out paper copies of the checkbook balances and also the investment in Michigan class, and then the handwritten part is where I've taken, because the Michigan class report comes out the first of the month. And after I wrote checks this time, I had to take monies out of the road fund to pay for Scout, Harrison, and Halleck's did 118. So that came out of the road fund, and then the fire department, I had to take monies out of the fire department to pay the check for the fire department, so that is it.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Oh, was that the both treasurer's report and the bill like we did?
I did talk about the bills, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but you can.
All right, okay, making a motion to pay the bills.
I'll support it.
Any other questions? Do we have a roll call vote, please?
Extra,
Yes.
Belinda,
Yes.
yes, Cargill.
Yes,
Rayford.
Yes. Okay, on the reports. So, the sign is up at the emergency building there on Taylor. And, I think Doug would like to talk about setting.
Bill's gonna talk about that during the fire
Oh,
department.
okay, all right. So that sign is up and the roof that we voted on a couple months ago, looks like it's gonna get started on the 20th of October. And then emails, we all have new emails, and I believe they're on the front page, homepage, contact page,
Yeah.
okay.
Has all the people listed. With their. What job they have, like a trustee, and it has an email.
Okay,
So, this page that, I don't know, somebody, I think Brenda put it together and sent gave me. I passed that out at last week's, planning committee. And a number of the planning committee people came to me, one, their emails are wrong on this document. So, and you have the corrected copy there. But there was quite a few people that requested that they also get their own emails. They don't feel comfortable with using their personal emails. And so I'm bringing that up. So
What's it cost us for anything?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't have a problem.
We can talk to Mark about it.
I-
Find out exactly who wants one and,
I just went online and made my own before we even decided. to
before
do
we
that.
did that, I know,
So,
which,
mine's the same.
rather
Same
than
shape.
for them to do a .gov, we could probably just do that.
Yep.
And they could just go on and,
It looks like Scott did that. He just created his own.
Scott Golden Township at Gmail, yeah. I think that would be the thing to do, because I don't think then we're paying for an extra.
yeah, I don't know, that's something that I wouldn't think you have to pay
I don't,
for a .com.
the only emails I put on is this us five. I don't put on the planning commissions on there.
On the,
But
on the web.
if they're doing government work, I agree that they should have a separate email. Than their personal email.
right, and that way, if we do get FOIA and stuff,
Right.
they're not.
and it doesn't have to be personal, like on mine, I'm trustee number 1.
Yeah,
Right.
Which they can be planning commission 1, 2, 3,
right,
and then, have their name. So,
So you think that's something you need to talk to Mark about, or?
There's a quick argument for making it. Making them all part of the .gov. That is that the township theoretically has control. Rather than the person that set up the private line. If you had somebody setting up a Gmail.
yeah,
That in the years that I've been here has never come up. But
but.
It could.
it
Yeah,
could,
very
if
well
you think back to the. Trying to remember where and what township it was in Michigan, clerk retired, and had books in her. Attic and wouldn't release them. And
There was-
control is a real thing.
There was a treasurer at the meeting that I was at last week that had the same thing happen, the
Yeah,
treasurer,
control is a real thing.
they were all in her house, and she said, when I started, I had nothing.
It can't be. I can't believe that setting up emails. for
I wanna
everybody
say it's
on,
like
Yeah.
so
$6
that they're
a
all
piece or
consistent,
something, and
They're
yeah,
all consistent,
Yeah.
you've got control, it's the way to go.
Okay.
Humble.
okay. So we'll check with Mark,
You gonna check with Mark then?
yeah,
Okay, thank you.
not tomorrow though.
Alright.
So. We don't have to do ZBA, do we? Or do we? Do we do ZBA too?
Yeah,
Yeah, might as well do them all if we're gonna do them.
Yes, definitely.
yes.
You know, it makes it just for the reason that you were talking about, FOIAs, everything. So it's clean, and otherwise you got, it
So
has
that's
the feel of
13.
the tail.
And
of
board of
the dog.
review. Rob, are you gonna talk about the Sandy View paving?
And roads.
Oh, on the road, okay.
So that's it for supervisor zoning report.
We have 73 zoning permits, with 24 new homes, still 234 rental permits. We've had, 2 boundary line adjustments, and then, we had Juniper Beach Road, Mitch Jonathan split his parcel into 4 parcels.
So on zoning, did you get your new cell phone?
I did,
Did you get a number?
I did.
Obviously. That should probably be on,
On that
Yes.
also.
and then we have an alternative number for another phone for the township.
No. No, there's no reason.
Oh, but wait, we voted on that. Who made that decision?
The girls in the office made that decision.
Oh,
We
so
voted
we
on
made
it.
a public vote and we put it in and the girls in
Okay.
the office decided not to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
So I got-
fine. Okay, so I would make a motion that we not have the spare phone for the office. We don't need it. We have, in the case, we don't have emergencies to begin with. And if the power's out or something, we have several cell phones there that we can use. And nobody's gonna know the number anyway then. So,
I thought it had something to do with Mark. Shop,
shall
well. It wasn't just an easy thing to do, to use that phone for. I don't remember what all he had to do to
Right.
make it work.
we make it work on a,
It was like that.
Oh, I have so many issues with this. I'll bring up. At this,
Well, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
I can second that. Okay, Connie had a motion.
Is
And the motion is, can you read it, please?
No, that's written.
Okay.
to not include a cell phone for the office. We don't need it, we have our lines and we have our extras with us. If we do
I know we have a motion, but the discussion was at the time. Was we brought up the fact that your internet went out, your phones went out.
Mhm.
I got called to bring internet to you to get phones and computers going. Because you had no way of communicating when that happens. And people wanna call and to know the number, put it on the website, yes, it will work, I'm not an IT guy, but it's common sense. A phone number on the website, if you call it, it will work if you answer it inside this building.
How many
So-
times have we had our power go out for any length of time? And then without the internet and the phone? The time that you came was the only one.
Connie,
And
they're also,
there's no emergency. We don't have bleeding people come in here or anything. It's, you know. They
Yep.
come in to pay their tax bills, they're paying,
the other thing that would be nice is to be able to get text messages. I know Rob struggles with getting phone calls, but he can get text messages. You know, if something needs to get to him, we can then text Rob and get to him. You know, and I'm sure that there's gonna be other things that come up. You know, for for the $30 a month, I think it's worthwhile.
I think it's crazy.
We got a
Got-
motion.
Got a motion and a second, so all in favor, say aye. Was that just one or did you?
I said hi.
She said that.
Okay,
Would you like me to say it louder?
no,
Let's do a roll call.
yeah, can we do a roll call, please?
Okay, roll call. Cargill,
Yes,
IT, yes. Belinda,
No,
Dykstra,
No,
and Draper.
You put me in the middle of this and it doesn't really affect me. I'm gonna say no. And then it's there if we need it.
I think we can throw it in the drawer and let it sit there.
It's, you said $30 a month, right?
595,
$36.99 to be
36,
exact.
99.
Okay. That was zoning. How about fire?
I'll let you start, Jake.
We had about almost 500 calls, fire and first responders. Hopefully the season is changing, but I got my notes. We had one of our trucks, one of the older trucks, we had trouble with the transfer case and transmission, so that had to be rebuilt, and that was about $4,000 to $5,000. Surprise, surprise. But other than that, things are moving along pretty good. Bill's probably got some other stuff he wants to bring up.
I talked to Carl and I talked to Dwight. Dwight's up to his ears in harvest season. Carl's going on some vacations and they asked if we could do a dedication in the spring. Just because of the weather, travel season, not many people here. And if we could hold off until springtime, it'd be easier if they can gather family members that come. And they were greatly appreciative of the sign. Carl went and looked at it, so it's awesome. I dropped off a check to the fire department, so the tracks almost are paid for through the side by side to utilize for the winter. Side by side, they're going to put tracks on it so that if we have inclement weather, we can use that side by side to get through the snow, bike trails, wheels, snowmobilers, along with anybody that gets lost in the dunes or problem in the dunes. We're able to utilize that vehicle in the wintertime to get through the deep snow, do a rescue. So those are 90% donated. I think the fire department's covering the rest. And I think it's gonna be about $2,300 for a $12,300 set of tracks for it, so.
Okay, thank you. Planning commission.
okay. We had a meeting on September 30th. We are gonna change the date for the zoning meeting later this month from the 28th to the 21st. We also had a existing site change for Golden Sands to add a 32 by 40 garage, and that was approved. And then we had a long discussion on Silver Sands Hotel and Resort. They came to us and wanted to resurrect the vacant restaurant or vacant commercial building. That was approved with some conditions. The conditions were that he wants to down the road do a lot of other things, and he had to take those off from the site plan. There was just a discussion about parking. And one of the things that was asked is for the board to discuss downtown parking is a problem. And to have this restaurant approved, the biggest issue was the parking. Did he have enough spots? And so the current ordinance probably should be reviewed. And I guess I would like to throw that out. Make a motion that we ask the planning committee to review the parking ordinance. So I'll put that,
Before we do that,
okay,
initially they came in for a restaurant site plan
correct,
and they're coming back with a new site plan.
correct,
That shows the restaurant being part of the resort, correct?
correct,
So the issue was the parking was 54 spaces and that for the restaurant alone, for this size.
correct. But under the parking ordinance,
With
if
the-
it is a resort,
they qualify.
they qualified because you can combine the parking spots. There's less parking spots needed for the addition of the restaurant to that. And so there was quite a bit of discussion because,
There's a lot of discussion
Yeah.
that's there for it. And one thing I noticed, we didn't put a deadline on that site plan, did we?
I have it for you one.
You have the new one already?
He came in the next day with it,
Okay,
or 2 days or something, whatever.
with everything taken off and the application is now saying this is for a resort restaurant.
Correct.
So in the future, that restaurant will stay with the resort, correct?
Yes.
Because Jacob brought up the restaurant was non-conforming. Legal non-conforming before on the split. Because it didn't have enough parking, but yet he's putting the restaurant to the resort.
Correct.
He qualifies.
correct,
I just want to make sure that everyone understands that, because I looked at the Facebook. And everybody's like, there was never enough parking there before,
Yeah.
and the only way this got approved was you guys worked through it. Did your job and figured out a way to put that empty building into a restaurant. But by combining the two buildings or just buildings and parcels, do we have to do parcels too?
there are two parcels,
Right, but does that go together now?
but they are owned by the same owner,
Correct.
yes. Which made it technically a part of
Right,
a
but you guys
resort.
worked through that, figured it out.
So they can't be sold separately then.
Well,
They were once before.
That's
they
the problem.
could be, because they are two different parcel numbers. They are not
Okay.
one parcel.
But can it continue to be a restaurant if I decide to sell it? Because now you're legal non-conforming or you're non-conforming, that's my question.
Right, exactly.
I don't think there's an answer to that because technically there wouldn't be enough parking for the number of people working and the number of patrons. Unless they added the additional 18 or 17 spots on the additional property over by Silver Lake. So there's a lot of other things that he's going to have to overcome. I mean, the septic is a big issue, and that
I thought
doesn't,
you guys did a good job of trying to figure out a way to do this. I
Yeah.
really do, but I'm just trying to clarify to the people of the public. We understand there's a parking issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a way to take an empty building. It's kind of an eyesore in the community. Those buildings don't look good in our community, and we figured out a way to make it work.
Sure.
But there's probably gonna be down the line, if they decide to split and tear this off of the resort. We're gonna have our work cut out for us.
Yeah.
Correct?
correct.
You can't create a non-conforming unit. That's what would happen.
And I think that's the answer,
Okay.
is that when you split it off, you're gonna have to get approval of what you're going to do with the new business, the new whatever. And when you do that, you're gonna run into a parking problem.
Right, so I'm just trying to avoid non-legal, non-conforming or non-conforming uses.
I think what happened there was that it was non-conforming for parking originally.
Mhm.
Then it got changed, the business got changed, which would kill the non-conforming use.
Correct.
And then, so then what happened is, that's not part of the whole show now, that process is not part of the current approval.
But it was nice to see that the planning commission took time and they worked through it. It was a long time and they went through every scenario to work on this. And what they have to do and think through isn't easy, but you found a way. Good job.
Thanks.
My only question would be, would it have been advantageous to put those two properties together to, you know, to have them do that, to make it happen? That way that couldn't have happened in the future.
They would have to go to Barbie and get that created as one parcel, and I don't know what hoops that she has to go through to make that happen.
Not much.
Not much, if they're in the same, if they're in
Now-
the same subdivision, they're.
The other thing is that potentially, if we would change the parking ordinance, that might give some leeway then down the road if it is ever sold, and that's what the planning committee requested, that I come to the board, ask the board, do you want to have the parking ordinance reviewed?
If we're gonna send it down the planning commission, I don't think we wanna look at reducing parking in our businesses. I think we wanna add parking to our businesses because
Can I make a comment? I'm on the planning commission, I'm the secretary. The parking that we're working with is in the zoning ordinance, it's not the parking ordinance. That needs to be clarified, but we're not going to change the parking ordinance that the township in, but look at the parking in the zoning ordinance in that area.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, the second thing that I would suggest is that to look at changing your ordinance for something that might happen is a bit dicey. You know, you're guessing what, I'd let that happen, whatever that is, let it happen.
Well, the other thing though, Ed, is it not necessarily for that, but for others. And if we want to incentivize other businesses in opening up in downtown Silver Lake, the parking is going to be an issue. And therefore, if we want to do that, we maybe should consider making some changes. And it doesn't have, you know, that the ordinance could specify a area that is different or whatever. I mean, there's creative ways to do that. But I'm thinking, you know, we want additional growth downtown. And right now, the way the ordinance is, I'm not sure that it's conducive to further growth.
Well, we need to look at that, and I think that it happens, not speculating. But I'm gonna go back down memory lane of 2006, 2007. And I sat on that side of the table, and I came to this board, there's a gentleman that sat, I think, right here in this spot. And when I walked out that door, I was fuming because I had to have so much parking. And by God, if I could thank him today, I would thank him. He made me put in so much parking and I didn't have the money for it. We figured it out. We got it done.
Yeah.
And I've since then added, and I'm coming back to Shelley in the spring and we're gonna put more in. For parking, because I'm blessed to have the property to do it, but. It was growing pains, it was financially hard and difficult to do. And I'm thankful Mr. Walsworth made me do it.
Good point, Bill. So maybe my response back to the planning committee is, no, we want to leave the parking ordinance the way it is. Yeah.
Well, until that issue comes up, I think so, because I don't know how else you would come up with extra parking. This has been a major problem as long as I've been around here. And, you know, they've been creative to make it happen in the past. The only other thing I could see where somebody rented, you know, parking space and then
And we have
that could go away too.
Yeah,
We have the rented parking spot, Craig has a spot, $5 a day or something.
So, okay, this,
So the answer is no. We don't want to change the ordinance.
Right now.
Okay, that's fine.
you
I-
have a comment on that, Rachel?
Nope.
Connie? Okay, well,
And I'm fine with that.
okay,
That makes sense. And then, renewable energy, I did give you guys a copy of the new proposed. That will go to a public hearing then on the meeting on October 21st. For a public hearing. Okay,
And clarification on this, we don't
Yes.
have anybody's applying for solar right now, this is just something to get ahead of.
we have to be prepared for
If,
if they do.
if they do, we have something in there, but the state still can come override us,
correct,
but we have something to work with now.
Correct.
And this is our ordinance.
yes.
Yeah.
And if you read the first part of it. It does, I tried to get creative in there in that it allows for a starting point for negotiations.
Okay.
And it does give us that option. What the MTA had suggested is that you have a Creo that is what you would like. And that gives a good starting point. And the one that we had was not up to date.
Has anybody reached out to Weir Township? They're going through the same thing right now.
No,
I see Larry doing it all the time and we're still working on it.
I wonder if
My
we should
shop.
share this with them.
we could.
Okay.
For anybody that doesn't know, the state passed a bill that somebody that wants to come in with a commercial solar, when they don't have to come to us, they can go to the state and do it. And they wanted us to pass a Creo, which is something they made up. And that
Is that it?
didn't help us out. So we've been advised by the MTA attorneys to come up with our own workable that they may work with us to help them get that.
what I used is this pamphlet right here. That was given to us. It is from Land and Liberty Coalition. And it's the Michigan Renewable Energy Permitting Guidebook. And I used that as a template. And then I pulled out stuff from other townships, where they had written into MTA and said, oh, you should have this in there. And so then I added, those things. So, yeah, I just,
Before we send this around, then we ought to get it through the public hearing.
right,
And let me get a crack at it before we send it to anybody.
so if anybody would like
They
a
didn't
copy
send it
of
to you?
this.
Or you haven't gotten anything from the planning commission on it?
No, I normally go through after you have the public hearing, I'll go through it and I'll have comments for the board. That's generally the way the ordinances have worked.
Or trust you with that?
Is that everything I'm planning?
Short-term rentals, was also, that did come up in the planning meeting and, they had a lot of ideas that they presented. And, so at this point, they're gonna come back with a written ordinance and, present that to the planning committee, before we go any farther.
On that, I will say, I talked to Mark Rippey a little bit about this, he asked me about the meeting, tonight's meeting.
Yep.
If it was this week or next week, and when I talked to him on Saturday, I assumed it was next week. Maybe it's morning programs today, about 4 o'clock. So
Yeah,
Mark wanted to
okay.
get some stuff put together for us, is what our meeting, so that is my fault, not Mark's fault, that it's not done. It's also his birthday, when I called him, his wife reminded me of his birthday. So I didn't bear him with a bad deal, so if he's watching this, I apologize for Mark. I hope you have a great birthday.
Shall we put something together and I'll ask her to read it when it comes to the rental enforcement thing, so.
And
That's
then
it.
one last thing. The township board, it was a long meeting. The township board had sent down to the planning committee to change the ordinance for enforcing parking violations. And I think Shelley is going to amend that. And then we'll come back after they approve it, and I'll give you guys a copy of that, and then it'll go to public hearing.
Okay,
So that is it.
okay, thank you. Parks, so parks are winding down for this year. And we'll probably be blowing the lines out in the next month or so. And then after that, the committee's gonna start to meet to see what we can come up with for next year. And I know there's a circle there that over the artesian well that's wood that needs to be replaced with a metal, so we'll look into all that stuff.
Rob, are they gonna start reviewing the 5-year plan then too?
We'll look at everything as
Okay.
we decide what we wanna go forward, yeah.
What's the thing that needs to be replaced? Cover?
There's a cover that's wood and a little small piece of wood that was screwed onto that came off last
How big is
spring.
this cover need to be?
52 inches approximately around, pretty good
Around
size.
or across?
Well, cross.
Okay.
Cross.
Yeah,
I'm
diameter.
sorry.
Square?
Dimension, huh?
Can we square?
It's already round, it's concrete. So it's just got a wood piece that fits in there, and if we had a metal one cut to put in there, we could just drop that right in the
Call me
sink.
tomorrow, I'll check with Will to see how big his plasma. And
Okay,
if he can cut that out, it's plasma cutter. I'm sure we can find a chunk of steel, maybe.
Sure.
Am I liable at that point, though? If I cover a hole?
What have you done?
Nothing yet. But if I can have a plate cut out. To throw in the holes. And just donate it. We can do that.
The township can accept a donation, design of it, I trust will be worthwhile.
yeah, Park has accepted lots of donations.
Yes, yeah.
And will continue.
Yeah.
We'll,
Yes.
let's get some dimensions now.
Okay,
And see what it's able to. We can cut that out.
okay, sounds good. There I dropped that. Okay, did you have anything on parks? Anything else? I think that covers it. Roads, so 18th. I'm sorry, Harrison has been slagged and that's finished, and I believe
Scout,
Scout's done. They're
paid for
in,
that today, and
okay.
then 18th Avenue.
18th
Palace.
Avenue is done. I believe it's done. I see there's straw there.
Yeah, I think it looks really nice.
Yeah.
There is still a little bit of an issue with Whippy Dip, and they are working with Halleck.
Okay.
Because they have excess water in the back that they're going to set up a drain for. So,
Okay.
but it definitely hasn't rained in a long time, but when it did, it definitely worked much better.
Okay, well, let's hope it does.
Okay.
A lot of money, so. 34th and Village, that corner's been worked on, and they're working on two of the others. They've come to Raven and Harbor. The other day they called and said they dug up that old cistern down in there, and they're not sure what to do with that, so they'll be getting a hold of numerous people trying to figure out what to do with that corner, but they're not gonna work on doing the paving on it at this point, what they told me, so. Did you have anything?
Just one on compliment for the road commission. We were out playing golf out there the other morning when they were working on the end of Village Road there. And one of the guys I was playing with said, you know, there's a big hole right by on our road there at, Holiday Court. And then I said, go over and talk to them guys, maybe they'll fix it for him. And they did,
Yeah.
so he was really impressed.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it on roads now. Assessors report, and Connie's asked me to read this. General, I have been entering PREs, PTAs, and reviewing deeds as they come in. I've also worked on entering all the splits we have completed for the 2026 assessment roll. The Michigan Tax Tribunal. 2 cases pending in small claims, both are residential value disputes. The filing deadline for commercial and industrial properties was May 31st. Since that fell on a Saturday, the deadline was June 2nd, 2025. The filing deadline for agricultural and residential properties was July 31st, 2025. The State Tax Commission, no pending deadlines. Board of Review, the July Board of Review was held on Monday, July 21st, 2025 at 11 a.m. The board had 1 poverty exemption to review. The next meeting will be held in December if there are any petitions. Assessor Barbie Eaton.
Yeah, I had that.
Yeah, she took. Thank you.
Okay, through the reports. Unfinished business. So the rental enforcement. So, I know the committee's been working on this. You had something to read what they came up with?
We had an outline. We stated fees, we were, application fee 500, inspection 100. Annual permit would be 1,000 per year. We also, was looking to say to have it go for 3 years, which would then would be 3,000. And then if they would say, $1,200 for the 3 years, or it'd be $1,600 for 1 year. Expenses numbers that we came up with was 169,000 for a police officer and equipment. 75,000 township ordinance officer outside contractor for inspections. 75,000 for township ordinance officer office, equipment, computer, etc. And then we talked about a little bit about fines, which would be, first fine would be a verbal or written from zoning. Second would be a $500 fine, and then third, would be revoking permit, depending on the situation. We talked a little bit about the application, to rewrite the application on Monday. With the things that we.
Okay. So with the committee continuing to work on this, and I know we're coming to a deadline for the new rentals to come in. Mr. McNeely had mentioned at our last meeting that the board could make the
The board sets the fees.
yes,
The ordinance, that's what the ordinance states, that the township sets the fee.
Yeah.
Or it is the township,
So all we have to do is
so you guys. set
make a
the
motion to
fees.
set the fees, and then the rest of that stuff we can.
And then
publish.
the particulars, in other words, the two different
Right,
things
yeah.
going on. One is amending the ordinance, if whatever you choose to put in the ordinance. And the second one is the fees that are charged for the permit.
So,
so we could set a fee tonight if we wanted to, and then they could continue to work on the ordinance and come at a later date.
Can we get a copy of that and take a look at that? What you wrote up? We have a timeline, we have November and December to get this done, correct?
not really,
Preferably November, because
So, but can we have a little bit of time to, you know, because these are the fees that I'm hearing about.
Yeah,
I'm there that
what you've got is fees in the ordinance, it talks about the fees
Yes,
for the permit. the
Correct.
Permit fees, what do you charge for
for
the permit?
permit.
Right,
And that fee is to be set by the township.
correct.
So we
There's
could,
some different fees in here, in their proposal.
Can I see that real quick?
I would like to see us tonight, and I would make a motion to increase the application for the rental to $1,000 a year. And then just do that so that we can get our hands wrapped around this new software program, and we're not gonna have to reinvent the wheel for the first year, because we're not gonna have an enforcement officer to do the inspections and
Well, you have an application fee of 500 on this, inspection fee of 100, and $1,000 per year. So you're talking about the annual fee?
I'm talking
For
about
$1,000?
$1,000 annual permit
That's,
fee.
that $1,000, from what I heard, is the permit fee.
The permit,
They are getting a permit. and
For 1 year.
$1,000.
yes,
It's not, from what I'm hearing, is not the $500 application. fee.
Correct.
no,
And it's not any other fee.
right.
It's just so far, that's what I've heard.
Annual fee,
Get this,
not a permit,
The permit,
not an
the
application.
fee for
it
the
is the
permit.
permit. It is not the application, it is the permit fee.
So I
Like the
get,
$200 has been for years. It is,
I question, with the new software, has anybody talked with the software company in how you can structure all these different payments in there? But you got the $500 and then you got the 1,000 and then.
You're not, okay, you're
No.
not doing that stuff right now.
No.
What you can consider right now is the permit fee.
I understand that, Ed, but to have, we can set that, but if we find out that the software won't support doing all these different levels, then what we may need to do is set that $1,000 at a different amount.
And that you can certainly do it anytime.
yeah,
And I guess I would propose, like Bill is saying, that we take some time to review this. But I guess and the other part of it is, would we move forward with the I guess the offer or the what the Mast had presented to us for getting the officer on board down the road. And that to me would probably be more critical to pull that trigger, get that in works, rather than, set the number on the fees at this point until we find out what we can do with
I
the
think
software.
we need to increase the fee now. So when people start applying, we can't just say, well, we can't take your application now because, we're gonna raise the permit and we don't know how much.
We can,
Well, yeah, we can, but why? I mean,
why not?
I'm not arguing about the $1,000 fee. I'm not.
okay, let's just do that.
No,
And then,
we're not- I
and
can't
let's
just
see the rest.
do that, because in a few meetings ago, you said you can't pop things on us on meetings and expect us to vote on it.
Okay,
I just saw this,
okay, I haven't seen it, cause I can't read it,
Right.
so anyway,
but we have November,
okay.
the applications need to be done. Now, you also have in here a savings plan and different things. I'd like to take a look at some of this and think about it. The $1,000, I don't. Is that enough?
I don't think so.
Well, I think it is if you're gonna charge all that other crap on with it.
Well,
But that
do
won't
do we
come
have,
till later.
where are we
That's
on?
what I mean.
Shelley, where are we on getting the letters sent out to all the people that, haven't filed for rental permits this year? That are listed on Airbnb? Have we sent any of those letters out?
Yeah, I sent out 4.
We got one back to,
We got one with a check for $400.
yeah.
When does applications open?
I usually in the past, she's gonna do it the way she does it, but in the past, when I did it, I would send it out the end of November, beginning of December, for your information type letter to anybody I had emailed.
And then they were due,
They're due by February
and
28th.
they could pay at the end of November in coins that day.
Right.
Right. So we could do something in November,
Yes.
That's all I'm asking.
and then we,
Just
and
a
then we
little bit
could,
of time.
well, and then we could put the new dollar amount into this letter that. For your information letter that Shelley's gonna make up and.
Well, yeah, however that's gonna work. So
We've got a little bit of time. And
let's give it a month.
just, let's take a look at that. I'm not arguing the $1,000. I'm just saying. Slow it roll a little bit, let's.
I agree, but
Yeah.
the critical part is that we gotta get these letters out, and I've been talking about this for the last 2 months. I identified, what, 140 rentals that were listed on Airbnb that are not registered with us. That's over $40,000 in revenue for the township. That should have a priority. Those letters should get out and get those people to pay so that,
Thank you.
I don't know why it's not a priority. I mean, it's $40,000. And
But
until we have a good handle on how many rentals we have, we can't even start calculating how much that fee should be to pay for additional offices.
I'm looking at
Yeah,
this.
the fee, so we're clear. The fee is to pay for the expenses of the permitting program.
Correct,
That's what the fee is for.
correct. And we're in line with, more in line with other lakeshore communities at this number,
Mhm.
1,000, correct?
Yeah. Kentwater 750,
750. I'd like to take a little bit and just go look and
yeah,
see what other
Right.
lakeshore communities are doing and when we fall in line.
That's great.
Just do a little.
Why don't we,
research.
look back at this next month?
Thank you.
How about that?
It's great.
And then you guys can keep working on your ordinance at the same time. Okay,
And what about the letters?
what about the
Keep
letter?
asking. It's $40,000. We don't care?
well, short-term rental season is kind of over.
Well, that,
So,
yeah, that's besides the point.
well, I know, but what are they gonna do? Say, well, I didn't really rent it. Anyway,
They were listed on Airbnb.
I mean, they rented it though. That means they offered it for rent. I'm just saying. I don't know, but yes, we can sit and go through the list because.
I mean, I gave you all the
The girls
addresses.
said the list that you gave them. There were some on that list that had permits.
There are
Okay,
a
so that's the
few.
problem. Somebody has to go through and
No,
you
they,
gotta figure it out.
no, they don't. They can send those letters, and if somebody already has a permit, they can write us back and say, I already have a permit.
Well,
Why
that's
should we
not
spend the
fair.
time doing it? Send it out. And it's, the reason they showed up on the list is because the data that we put in there had periods when Airbnb doesn't have periods, so they didn't match it exactly. And there were very few that I could see. There were some.
Have you guys finished your schooling with iWorks and stuff? Is that all?
Well, yes, sort of. You know, we don't know what's gonna happen when we start changing it all, but I think Asaya's been working on getting them all onto the iWorks program, hasn't she?
Yeah, I did several. And
And then
then
she,
when I left, I asked her to do.
yeah,
Okay.
and she
Finish
was
the
in there
thing.
working away, so.
Yep.
Yeah, if we get them all on.
From what I looked at, it looked like she had finished what I asked her to do.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
And you're working along with Asaya and, okay.
so,
So, I mean, keep pushing forward on it, see what you can do.
Pushing forward, I'm confused. We sent in a letter or not sending a letter?
Well, I think she's sending letters as she figures it out.
Yeah. You sent 4, like
She
she said,
sent-
we got one back.
And it's been, I don't, couple months and I gave them that list. I mean, at this rate, yeah, we'll be next spring before
We'll get up to next year.
it's $40,000.
If
Mhm.
we wait 35 or 40 days, we can set a Christmas card too.
There you go. And we can also then get the higher rate of postage.
I don't
I
get
don't
it.
know. Well, it's not like we're sitting in the office doing nothing. I
I'll-
gotta
I'll-
tell you.
I said I'd come in and help. I'll stuff envelopes.
Okay. Come on in.
Well, Rob didn't want me to do it.
Oh,
But you did,
I never said that.
well,
Okay, yeah, let's just move along and.
yes.
And come in, and if you wanna sit with them, sit with them and work, that's between you guys. So,
So is the permits due on February 28th like it was before or not?
yes, it's still, unless they change that in the ordinance, it's still February 28th.
And we talked about it.
Okay, Mears commercial parking, so I talked with, and this has to do with no parking. Right here from center to 56 on Fox Road in the commercial area from November, well. I threw dates on there, you guys can see, I gave you a couple things. I put in there, no parking in the parking lot, and that's all subject to change, 10 PM to 6 AM. From November 1st to April 1st, same kind of thing as in the road. And I talked with the road commission and they said that the only thing they could do was put in breakaway posts. And if we wanna move forward with that, we could. I also talked to the sheriff and he's on board for citing them. And, but he said we definitely need something in the ordinance that states that, so that's something I didn't catch on to and.
Something in the
So-
ordinance that says,
Says
If-
something about no parking at night.
Oh.
In the certain areas and
okay,
everything.
I think you're gonna go down a rabbit hole. On this, where, okay, so you wanna put posts in, breakaway posts, where's the property lines at? So now we're gonna need a survey. To figure out, are we putting it on their property, or are we not putting it on our property, and then how do we follow around this? There's a lot of ifs and buts, because we really wanna make sure that everything is followed properly, so
Yes.
it's a simple. And now you got breakaway posts that might fall over. The sidewalk, is that the property line, is it in the road right away? So you're gonna have to spend some money on the roadside, where you put an ordinance in for start with the parking lot. Overnight parking, so we can follow that,
yeah,
but this over here on the roadside, in the road right away, the sidewalk. You put it in too far to the south or too far to the north, we're gonna have someone complaining, unless it's defined. This is your property, this is the road right away, here's our line. Here's where it is. I don't know,
I think if we keep looking at this, the road commission and the sheriff are both on board, so I think we just need to try to figure out, is there a place to put a sign? Everything's
That's-
concrete.
yes,
if we took time, maybe somebody, with authority like Rob. And, contacted the property owners there. And said if the township bought a sign that stated no parking here, if we put it on your building, get written permission, we buy the sign. They can install it, we can install it.
or put them on the edge of the curb like, and let them plow their own sidewalk. That would be a whole nother war.
Yeah, and I did mention that to the road commission, they didn't answer me. So
'Cause
I'm not
they-
sure if
They
they're on
don't do
board
that
or not.
sidewalk, do they?
Right,
Our plow people do it, don't they?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
They go right up along the sidewalk,
Right,
in the
and
road,
then-
and come back, and cut the
Yeah.
edge. push
right,
it down.
so,
In the meantime, we can do our parking lot, we own that,
Yeah.
and I gave you guys some printouts.
And that should
Of
be
what
fine.
some of that stuff would cost. And these are steel or aluminum signs. So, and 2 handicap ones facing the library or the post office.
So you need 2 no parking during 10 o'clock to 6 a.m., November 1 to April 1, and the 2 handicap signs
Right.
and 4 posts.
You only need 4, you need 4 signs and 4 posts?
Yeah, there is posts in there, but there's nothing that says we couldn't do it on 4x4 too, I would think. These sign posts are $71 a piece.
Is there a way just to put after the stop sign there on that corner, like just to, you know, parking during that amount of time from here to the corner? That covers.
Well, I think I need to get with the engineer at the road commission and see what they're gonna work with us on. Be honest with you. And as far as the ordinance goes, I think that was something that I didn't realize. I thought that would just fall right under the same ordinance we had, but
I think when we
That's
did
gotta
that, we
be
got
fixed.
pretty specific as far as
yeah,
where it was and stuff. But that's not a real big deal. I mean, we can
8-foot 4x4 is $11 and cents. Well, it's saying if you buy 65 or more, it's $9.97.
yeah. Read it, yeah. So we need
yeah, why not?
4 of them, so.
The other thing is you need 2 over there in the parking lot, but where on earth are you gonna put the post on this side?
No, he needs 4 in the parking lot.
We're
He
talking
needs
the
2
parking
handicap in the parking lot.
You gonna concrete those in then?
What's
You
that?
gonna concrete them in? Or are you just gonna?
Probably should.
Yeah, I would think.
Bag of cement, dump it in the hole.
So it's 30 for the handicap signs and 66 for the. Sign, I don't know what you guys think about that one, I just kind of made it up.
$4 and 48 cents for concrete, 60 pound bag.
So you're looking at, there's 100 and. We could probably do this for about $150, $175.
Who's gonna do it?
Huh?
Who's gonna do it?
Stephanie.
Yep.
Got a post hole digger?
I do.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were hiding back there.
So what do you guys think? I mean,
Well, then who are we gonna have put it?
what's that?
Who do you want to put it in?
Well, Stephanie could, you know, yeah, she's our maintenance person.
Right.
I'll make a motion to buy the signs and post and some concrete and a few spruce to install. Leave it at that.
Yes,
Okay,
I'll support that.
not to exceed $200,
Oh, yes.
No, you got it.
This was you need.
Yeah,
three
Don't
hundred,
exceed $300.
okay,
I'll support.
Not even really good.
okay. We have a roll call vote, please.
Linda?
Yep.
Cardell?
yes.
Dykstra?
Yes.
I think yes. Draper?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
webpage. So,
I talked to the web guy. And I brought Doug a pamphlet giving information about making the website ADA compliant, which we have to do before 2027. I've got a whole list of things that when they redo it, they want from us. And I told him, I said, we're not quite ready in the office yet to go remodeling everything all at once. And he said, whenever you're ready, we're ready. So,
okay. So we could be working on that here in the next few months, probably, something like that.
well, when we get the short-term rental software going,
Okay,
then we'll talk about the,
Well, I don't know. And you want to be a pain, but a little bit more. We're increasing emissions, and we're gonna do this. Webpage.
Mhm.
I think it's about time this township stepped up and accepted credit cards, so they could go in, fill out their application on that web page, put in the credit card number and pay their fee.
When you get elected treasurer, you can do that.
Now, wait a minute, you're talking about short-term rental?
I'm talking about our web page, at least in our office needs to accept a credit card, because every place else I apply for a permission with a different township. I think I
You
found one that didn't take a credit card, and that was Golden, but
You can apply for the rental permit and use your credit card
I'm,
through payroll.
okay, but other fees, permit fees and stuff like that. Should be able to be paid online, or we need to look at our office hours and them, because the working man can't take a day off to come in here to drop a check off to Shelley all the time.
You will be able to pay online with the short.
Now, I'm not saying short-term rentals, I'm saying our web page.
You're
needs
talking like
to be
zoning
able-
permits, are you talking
I'm
taxes?
saying anything and everything should be able to be paid on a credit card or a debit card online. If we're gonna do the web page, we need to move into the times and have that ability.
Let's get the first part going first.
Right, let's get the web page going.
No, let's get the IROC and the short-term rental crap going first.
Doesn't make sense. Get the web page going with an application, time, and do it all at once.
Then we'll wait until we get it going and then we'll fix the webpage. And I will decide when we take taxes. And
Well,
That
actually. I
is
think
my-
we'll just-
my responsibility. And I'm responsible for it.
Well,
We are not the only ones who don't take a
We-
credit card.
I said the only ones I've dealt with,
Okay, just saying, there's a lot more than you think that don't.
I deal with a lot of different townships.
so
So do I.
when we talked about the webpage, we were looking at, what's their name, Shoemaker?
Yeah, they,
And we're gonna work with them to make this happen.
When we're
is that how
ready,
it-
they will be
Okay,
willing to work with us.
okay, and that's not too far down the road then, probably.
ADA compliant is like what you.
27,
27.
2027. It has to be done by.
Okay, well, this sounds like it's gonna continue to move forward. Okay, number 4, the library. So I guess it's been asked that we have a mediator to talk with board members. And a couple of our board members and a couple of the others. I guess I'd like to start by asking what you guys' opinion is on everything to do with this. You have an opinion, Rachel?
Do I have an opinion?
Yes.
Well. I went to the library because of some of the stuff they have there that. That is available to children that should not be, in my opinion. And. I just have a hard time with. I guess giving my money to them and still seeing that kind of things happening. I don't think they should have pornography available to any child out there. And if an adult wants to look at it, that's one thing, but for children to be available to children, I think it's wrong. Now, if they give them money for that kind of things going on. They should be helping parents, not making it harder. That's my opinion. And I just stated it.
Okay. You got anything, Bill?
I thought we were done with this.
Uh-huh.
We've said we were done with it, I said we we're done with it, now it comes back up again.
Yes,
Are they asking us to come to the negotiating table? Are they gonna negotiate with us? Are they going to come off $65,000? That's what I wanna know. Are they gonna do that? Until they come off of that, it's done. It keeps coming back on this agenda. I don't understand why. I know it's needed, but. I don't know.
within reason.
Doug?
Well. I don't agree with the $65,000. And I do think that there are a number of people in the township that would like to be able to use the library. And I think that if the library is willing to meet with us, I think we should agree to meet with them. We have nothing to lose. And if they're willing to come back with a number that's acceptable to the board with a 3 or 5 year contract, I think we could put this thing to rest.
I agree with that.
And, and we should just meet. We don't know, until we do that. And Austin Garcia has offered to help facilitate that. And, in the past, they've been unwilling to even meet with us. So
Connie?
I feel like Bill that we've discussed this until we're beating a dead horse here. And I don't think if someone came to us and said, we want to sit down and talk to you, a couple of you, I don't think it has to come up every month at this board meeting to do that. I would make a motion that we're dead, we're done with it, and move on, because they don't seem to be wanting to really negotiate. And I wouldn't want to agree to anything less than a 5-year contract with them, because I certainly don't want to go through this every year. I'm sorry, this has been a pain.
So you made a motion?
I would make a motion that unless we have something new, if we had a meeting or somebody brought something new to us, fine, but when we're just gonna sit here and discuss it over and over and over again, I make a motion that we not put it on the agenda unless there's new information to be had.
I think the motion really should be that the library is extended and offered to meet with us. And
They go.
yes, they have.
To whom?
Just a second, you had a motion, it
Yeah.
sounds like you're amending the motion. You got the motion,
Go ahead.
are you doing anything with an amendment here?
Well, nobody seconded my motion yet, so.
I'm still waiting for,
For the end of it?
yeah. Well,
What is your? I'll put it on the agenda again until,
Unless there's
They come forward.
unless there's a
They-
reason to put it on.
They have
There's new
come,
information. If there's not new information,
Don't put it on the agenda again. And they have come forward according to.
That's
you.
not part of the motion.
No, I know,
no.
I know. So I guess at this point, then I've gotta ask for a second on that.
it's a hard one because I would like to know the new information came, so. Can we let it die to discuss the new information that kind of remakes a motion, we support it?
You can second it, it comes up, you can discuss, and then you vote on it. So after you second it, there's room, that's when you discuss.
All right, I'll support Connie this thing.
Okay,
What's the new offer? They came and they wanted to do, what's the new discussion?
okay, so Austin Garcia, I already said this, right, but Austin Garcia was approached by the library at Rotary that they would like to sit down with Rob and myself to discuss potentially a agreement. I don't have any numbers. I don't have any time. Obviously, whatever their offer would be, we would have to come back to the township board and approve or not approve.
Mr. Supervisor, is Mr. Garcia here? Maybe he has something to speak on what they might have. We don't know what they have, if they have an offer.
I don't know.
Yeah, No, I'm not Mr. Garcia.
Well, he's here. So did they have an
I
office?
just want permission to talk. you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll stand up here. And so, yes, context. I talked to library at Rotary. They told me about the impasse between the two boards and I offered my help to, as a facilitator, to get the two boards to talk. So I figured less is more, 2 people from their board, 2 people from your. And so I met with them already, told them kind of the issues that your board has expressed. Said that, as you kind of said, 64,000, whatever that number was unreasonable. So I said, let's do a short-term 3 to 5 year proposal. And I said, get 3 proposals that you're willing to offer to the township at that 2-person meeting from each board as a negotiation start. And that's as far as we got. They're on board. I reached out to Doug Dykstra and he indicated that he was on vacation. He was gonna ask Rob to come. Rob was on vacation and it was brought to this board. So we haven't gone anywhere besides that. I don't know exactly what the proposals are, but I know it's not 64,000. There was 3 different ones. I think someone went to the library board. They could tell you what the offers are. But I want them to present it to you. I'm just there as basically a person that's gonna help with the business transaction. That's what this is. It's a business transaction between one service to you guys. And that's all my involvement is. I'm not there to say, yes, that's a good offer, bad offer. I'm not there to do that. They approved me to do this on the library side. After meeting with them, I said, hey, did you want me to help with this? And they said, yes, that could be a person of interest to help them out, since I'm not affiliated with anything. I'm not there to, advance anything. I'm just there to have a civil conversation, make sure we stay on point. And that we just start a discussion. I did not promise them that we're gonna solve this problem. Or that you guys are gonna agree. I said, let's just take a step on doing something different. And that's what this was. And so they have 3 proposals, I'm told. That they wanna present to your board, so the 2 of you, and then obviously. If that's even a starter, you guys would bring it back to the full board on both sides. So that's all the information we have, and so. You're welcome to vote on anything you want, but I just thought of trying something new. And see if this works.
So I'll stand with the motion.
Yeah,
So we made is states no, do not put on the agenda until new information.
okay. So everybody understand that motion?
Yep.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. All right, so. The only way it comes back to the board is if there's something
No,
new
the
on.
only way it
the
goes on the agenda.
On the
Or on
agenda.
the agenda, I'm sorry, yes, sorry.
But now, okay, so now I'd like to make a motion. Okay, that we do have some new information. From that the library wants to meet with Rob and myself. And. Austin Garcia. And he's not part of it, he's just in the middle. And potentially we would get an offer. And I would propose that we move forward with that meeting. We have nothing to lose.
Why don't they present us
Connie.
the offers, just send us a letter with the offers so that the whole board can review their comments. And then you could go to the meeting.
I'm
gonna stick with number 4 here, Connie and Bill, Connie made a motion, Bill made a second. Not to put it on the agenda again until new information is presented from the library. We don't have anything from the library, we're done with the library.
That's right.
Well, I put a motion on the floor that we do have. They're willing to make an offer if we would sit down and talk with them. And
I think we don't need an emotion right now. I think we need to wait for them to.
He's got it on the-
He's already
Yeah,
got
he's got it.
motion. I'm looking for a second. So no second,
So the motion
motion
dies.
dies.
motion dies.
That's it.
That's it. We're done.
Videos.
Videos.
Okay, the videos are on the website. If you go to the planning commission, under departments, you will find the video from the last planning commission meeting. It didn't get put on because I was gone when that meeting happened, but I put it on as soon as I came back. And the meeting minutes are on the minute page for the township board, for the township meetings.
Do you put them on as a draft, or do you wait and put them on after they're approved?
It's a video.
Oh, it's the video, okay, gotcha.
Yes, it's right over there, right there with the password and everything. All I have to do is click on it, put in the password, and you can watch it.
Nice.
Usually I put it in the day after.
Okay, so if you're not here, who should do it?
I don't know, I'm really not here.
Well,
But
That's right.
you have your,
I put it on when I came back.
I-
You
I
got
know.
so many days by law to
That's
put
right,
stuff out,
8 days,
so
within 8 days.
you know,
so-
the whole concept of this was so that the community wouldn't have to rely on the Facebook posts, that we would have these on there. And I think that, you know, when I get a phone call or when I get an email for somebody and they say, hey, the email, the web page isn't out there, and it's happened quite often, Rachel. Even when you are here, it doesn't happen. And
what doesn't happen?
they don't get posted.
Doesn't get posted. The video,
Yes,
I always put it on the day after. Although I haven't with the PC because I wasn't there, but the day after I usually post the ones from here. So if
I
would
think
tell
you have to
what,
have a backup.
I will ask Shelley to be my backup. Shelley would be, you be my backup.
I will be your backup.
That'd be awesome, thank you. Okay, it's staying there.
That's everything on that. Okay. So, now, there is no new business, so. We're on to public comment. Public comment is just that, a comment made by the public. The public comment portion of the agenda is not a question and answer period, a debate, or a public hearing. Questions should be addressed to the applicable township staff or official during township office hours. Please come to the blue line and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. Anybody up? Hey, thank you. Have a great night.